Hi guys! I know it's been a while since I posted a video, and my last two videos were actually just a trailer reaction for the Nutcracker in the Four Realms and me unboxing my Smuggler's Bounty box from Funko that I got through Amazon. Yeah, I'm sorry. Honestly, there hasn't really been a lot going on. I started my new job last week. I am back at the Staples I used to work at last year with my brother. So I have been working there. I was there 3 days last week. Today I am working there from 1 to 5, and then I am off for the next 3 days. And then I go back Monday, have Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then I work Thursday, Friday. So I'm getting about, on average, I'll probably be getting 16 hours a week, which in this day, this economy, and this job market is really nothing to sneeze at. I know my hair is a mess because I just washed it and I'm waiting to brush it until I braid it to go in for work to work. So I have a new job and that's been doing a lot of stuff, but I've been doing really there hasn't been much going on. I just went to I joined Joann's. I went to Joann's the other day to get liquid stitch for my Star Wars patch. I have to add more. The edges keep coming off, but I have my Star Wars patch on my backpack. I love Joann's. I'm gonna go shopping there probably. This week is the fair. We went Sunday. My mom, my brother, and I. We went because it was free parking. We went with my dad. Well, the park, yeah, paid park, free admission. We went and we walked around, and it's kind of sad. I will say the thing about the fair for later, but we did go to the fair Sunday. I'm actually supposed to be going to the fair tomorrow to meet my friend Erin. I finally have decided, you know what, let's just do it. We've been trying to do this thing where we get together on a date, to have a date to see if we would be a good relationship, be good together as romantic partners. So I'm supposed to be doing that tomorrow with him. We're supposed to be meeting at 12:30 in front of the 4-H cafeteria to spend like an hour and a half at the fair. I'm gonna be leaving by 2:30. So that's what I'm supposed to do tomorrow. I'm planning on going to the fair tomorrow for fun, just because it's something I've done like every year since I was a kid, and I still want to go do it. So I'm definitely going to the fair tomorrow, and I will bring you guys along, just to do a little bit. Hopefully this pans out. He doesn't mind that I do a little vlogging while we're there, but I want you guys to see my life. So other than that, nothing much else is going on. I'll probably go. I do have something big coming up in a couple weeks, start of September. I'm going to do a massive shopping spree. Now that I have a job, I'm going to do a massive shopping spree and get like some new makeup and beauty items. And I have to go get pretty much a whole new wardrobe from top to bottom because of all the weight I've lost. I'm really proud I've lost a lot of weight. When I started this weight loss journey, I was 273 pounds, and last January when I went to the doctor for my physical, I was 220. So I have lost about 50 pounds in 3 or 4 years. So I'm very proud of myself, and I actually think I've lost more weight because I am literally too small for all my clothes. Like my work shirt I got, it is 2 sizes too big, and it is a 3X. And last year at this time, that would not have been the case. So in a couple weeks, I will bring you guys along as I do this big, huge shopping trip to get new work pants, new shirts, new shoes, new socks. I'm pretty much getting myself a whole new wardrobe in a couple weeks simply because all my clothes are too big. Even the shirts that used to be too small that I didn't like wearing, they're now starting to get too big on me. So that's what I'm doing in a couple weeks. So I'm going to get going. I will be back tomorrow. So you guys will get this tomorrow afternoon or Saturday. So I'm planning on doing 2 days. So I will talk to you guys later, and hopefully I will be able to do a lot more videos. So don't give up on me yet. I promise I will be doing some more fun things soon. Bye. Afternoon, everybody. I am here, as you can probably see. I'm at the Midland County Fair. Just walking in, I'm already, oh, there's the Ferris wheel. I couldn't see the Ferris wheel. I am already filling up with tons of memories. I have been coming to this fair we did come in last year. I've come to this fair every year since I was a few months old. I was born in February.
March, April, May, June, July, August. I was about 6 or 7 months old when I first came here. So yeah, I've been coming to this fair since I was a baby. And when I was 8, I started showing goats. So I've been coming to this fair in some way, shape, or form since I was a baby. I mean, this is where I had my first ice cream. This is where I went on some of my first rides. I mean, this is just like, for an entire week when I started doing 4-H, this was literally my home away from home. I love it so much. See the Ferris wheel. This is all campgrounds back here. That is the campground area, and back there is the grandstand entrance. I used to see the Calvaryman Gospel Choir there every Sunday night, Fair Week. That was like the first concert, and we would go and it was free, and I loved it. They played my favorite song was the Squirrel Song, and then I saw Raven there. I saw a bunch of Christian bands there. Like, literally, when you're a 4-H fair kid, your local fairgrounds for like however long the fair is, that is your playground. This is where I came to play. I met my cousins here. Most of my dad's side of the family would come out here and camp for the week. So I actually know quite a few people who are here and have been coming here for years. My uncle used to work here, so for me, this is literally my home away from home. Like I was saying, this is where I grew up playing and everything. So I miss it. I miss being a 4-H kid so much. And people think I'm weird because I'm talking to my phone. They don't know I'm a vlogger. So I love it here. It's so much fun. I have like, seriously, so many good memories. That was an actual school. They brought it here and they used it for craft shows. I remember coming Sundays and Saturdays, getting in line at that building with the red roof. That's the Gerstecker building. That's where I would hand in my collections, my artwork, or my reports. It's sad because of how small the fair has grown down. Midland has never been an agricultural community, but there used to be so much more, but now all the fairs are closing. That second white building, not this first one, but the second one, that is where I meet Aaron. That is the 4-H cafeteria. About being a member of 4-H and coming to the fair was we had to work at the cafeteria. So like, if we showed animals, we would have to go and do like 1 or 2 nights or days at the cafeteria and like bus tables and make food and stuff like that. And when I got older, I hated it. When I was younger, I thought it was fun. So I can't believe I'm here. This is literally like kind of the center of everything. We have a gazebo here, little bleachers. We have an animal thing I'm gonna go look at. I see animals. Dancing bird. What, those big birds right here, in this case? Those are called kookaburras. Those are doves.
That is funny.
I'm trying to get the kookaburras to laugh and they won't laugh. Yeah, I can't do it. You're just a jelly. Look, they're kookaburras. They were laughing earlier and now they won't laugh. I'm sad. Bird? Oh, yes, you are. You're a pretty bird. What, I started filming, now you're going to stop talking? Oh, there you go. Hi! What, do you get jealous every time I look at the kookaburras? Hi! Hello! Oh my goodness! You are such a jealous bird. Really? You are a jealous. Yes, you are. You're a jealous bird. You are a jealous bird. You are. You are a jealous bird. You're a very loud, jealous bird. Yes, you are. Yeah, come here. This bird's just yelling at me because I keep looking at the other birds. Yes, you. Uh-huh. What, do you speak English over there and making a lot of noise? They're called kookaburras. They're laughing.
It doesn't sound like, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what they're called, the laughing bird. And I was waiting for them to do it so I could get it on film. Oh my gosh!
Aren't you glad I called you over, Madeline?
The baby's eating all the mommy's game food. Oh my goodness!
Are you gonna come out of it? No, you're not gonna come out of your pouch. You're just gonna stay in the pouch, huh?
What if it comes out?
Oh, he looks like he's just about big enough to start coming out.
It looks like he's trying to.
Peekaboo! I tricked you.
Peekaboo!
Boing, boing.
Check your tongue out.
Longer nails than I do. Can you stick your tongue out? Go. Mm. I'm sticking my tongue out at a blue-tongued skink. I'm literally a 12-year-old. Aaron, there's a bearded dragon for you. Alright guys, as you can see, I'm home. I'm sorry I did not take more footage of the fair and all you saw were the Aussie animals. I think it was me. I wasn't comfortable vlogging. If it was just me, I would have vlogged a lot more. But I was there with a friend, so with Aaron, so I didn't really feel comfortable vlogging because I usually catch my family members and stuff. So I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable, so I didn't vlog. But sort of a blessing. And the funny thing was I took a picture of that wallaby, and I did not notice when I took the picture that the Joey's leg was sticking out of the pouch. And then after I looked at the Joey, I'm like, oh my god, that thing has a Joey. And then the head popped up, and it was adorable. So in honor of seeing the baby, I got a kangaroo with a little Joey. It's adorable. So it was fun. I got my Red Barn French fries, which the Red Barn is this food stand that has been there. Like I said, I've been going to the fair since I was a baby. And I've talked about this before, about being a 4-H kid. It was literally my life. For like, the moment I got my goat for the summer until after the fair, that was it. That was my life, was the fair. My entire summer, we did family vacations, school, some educational stuff like that. But for the most part, everything was building up to the fair. Like 2 or 3 times a week, my mom made me practice showing my goat. You guys might not realize this if you've never thought about it before, but there's actually a very distinct way to show your goat. It is very proper, and you actually have, as a kid, have to practice this. Because in order to show a goat, what happens is, when you're in the ring, the goat must always be between you and the judge. You can never be on the same side of your goat as the judge. So there was a trick. We had to master this thing, and we could not go behind. So if a judge was moving, we could not go behind our goat. So we could not just go step around behind our goat. We actually had to master this thing, which in my head I called the 4-H spin, where we would take one hand, and we had to have like one hand on the collar. You had to go around the front of the animal. So we'd master this thing where we'd go and like twist, turn, and then switch. And while we were doing that, we also had to be very smoothly switching which hand was gripping the lead or the collar of the goat. So it was very thing. And we also had, the older you got, the more body parts of the goat you had to memorize. Like when I was a senior, I think I had to have pretty much the entire skeletal system, muscles, everything. I had to know all the where every major organ, body part was on a goat. I had to know what breed of goat I had, African pygmy. I had to know how old my goat was. The goats had to stand a certain way when they came to rest. They had to have all their hooves, all their legs had to be an equal distance apart. And it wasn't just, I couldn't just know stuff about my goat. When you were a junior or senior in 4-H, they will actually quiz you on other breeds of goats. Like I had to know, when I was a junior, senior, they would quiz me on the different breeds of meat goats, the different breeds of dairy goats, of which there are 12, and they really liked it if you knew all 12. So this was, 4-H is not just something you do for fun. I always say I recommend 4-H for lots of people. I say 4-H is amazing. Get your kids involved in 4-H. Start them young. Keep them in it because you learn so many skills. It's not just animals. My 4-H, I started out showing goats, but I didn't just show goats. For 2 years, I actually showed Jacob sheep, which are these sheep that are white with black spots. They look like Dalmatians. And with Jacob sheep, I had to learn a whole new way of showing. Because with my goat, I was able to have a collar and or a lead. When I was older, I stopped using a lead on her and I started just using her collar, and we started doing choke collars, which were recommended. When you showed a goat, when I started out showing, I had a bright pink collar and lead on my goats. That was a no-no. It had to be a neutral color or a choke chain. And with my goat, Cassie was so well trained, we called her literally a show goat because that's what she was. She was a show goat. You have show dogs. She was a show goat. I was able to, during the show ring, when the judge was expecting her, I was able to let go of her collar and step a little bit away, and she would just stand there. I very rarely had to bend down and get her legs in the right position. She knew. So this was how often, this is how hard, this is literally, by the time I was a senior, this was hours and hours and hours and years and years and years of working with my goat to get her to that point. To the point where 1 year, I took reserve champion twice with her. In the following year, I did grand champion, which means my goat was the best in her class for that group, 4-H and open. So that is the pinnacle. That actually qualified me to go. I could have gone to the state fair that year. I didn't because it was at school, but I could have gone to the state fair with her. So that is what is so important about this. Sheep are different in that sheep, when you show a sheep, you can't have any sort of collar, lead, anything. So when I was showing the sheep, I was literally hanging on to Spike, my Jacob's lamb, with my hands around his neck. Because that was the only way I could show him, because I couldn't have a lead or anything. So it was a whole different ballpark with my Jacob's lamb. And instead of showing my Jacob's lamb in a ring, I actually showed it in front of the barn because there weren't that many. So it was a whole different field. And then when I got older, my 4-H group got bigger, we branched out from just doing animals. I started entering poems, artwork, collections, crafts, reports. So in 4-H, you just don't have to do animals. You can do anything ranging from wood carving to a martial arts demonstration, to a fashion show, to dogs, to pretty much anything, because it's really just getting kids involved in like agricultural, making crafts, stuff like that. I loved it so much. You know, I said 4-H shaped me, and it did, because it got me interested in my community. And to this day, I can remember the 4-H pledge, and it has stuck with me. More so than anything else, and the 4-H pledge is, I pledge my head to clear, what was it? Oh my gosh, now I forgot it. I can't believe that. No, I still remember it. I even have a 4-H bear. What is it? Oh no. I pledge my head to greater thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger silvers, my health to better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world. That is the 4-H pledge. That is what it is. Head, heart, hands, and health. And that is what we were taught. We are to think clearer. We are to have a greater loyalty. We are to live healthy lives. And we are to serve others. Which was very important to me, because at the same time my parents are bringing me up in 4-H, I'm also being brought up in Lutheran, as a Christian. Which is the biggest commandment for any Christian is, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. And then the second one is love your neighbor as yourself. And
as a Lutheran, a Christian in general, you're just taught to live your life to the best of your ability, to have a clear head, to be loyal, to be faithful, to be willing to do services, to help your neighbors, help your community, your country, your world. And so that just, I don't know what it was. Now that I think about it and I'm older, I just realized how much that kind of messed with me, and that I was in 4-H and I was a Christian. I was learning the same set of civic values. And it's sad because I don't get to do as much of it as I want to. You know, I want to be the slaughter service, and I do. And I've already decided when I'm an adult and when I'm able to, I'm going to find some way that I can donate my time back to 4-H, because 4-H did so much for me. And for a lot of people, if you have the means, 4-H can be a way to travel the world, see the country. It was an awesome experience. So going to the fair today was kind of sad, because when I was younger, the fair was this big, huge event. People came from everywhere to the fair. We used to have singers like Nelly and Christina Aguilera and I don't remember all who else. Randy Travis, the band that did the Christmas Shoes, Raven-Symoné. We had them come here. We used to have a music concert during the fair called Lizard Fair. It was like a night of all these acts. It was awesome. It was amazing. And now, it's not that anymore. It's very sad. There used to be 3 merchant buildings filled to bursting. Now there's 2, and they're not that filled. And the barns are barely half full, and it's just sad to think about. But my reasoning is Midland was never an agricultural community. And for a fair, a county fair, to survive, to really be this big event, you have to have a community, a city, whatever, that has a strong agricultural community, a strong agricultural family. The thing is Midland never really had that when I was growing up. By the time I was born, Midland was very heavily industrialized. It's Dow all the way. It drives me batty sometimes. I would really love to live in a city where Dow is not the end all. And by the time I was a kid, there were less farms. And now that I'm an adult, you used to be able to go up Eastman, the road I'm living on, and once you got out from the city, there were like dozens and dozens of farms. And now those farms are being sold, the land's being turned into subdivisions. There's not a big, strong farming or agricultural presence here in Midland anymore, because it's just become so industrialized. So it makes it sad going to the fair. I remember when I was a kid, the fair was like this awesome place. I remember today is Friday. Today is what is called 4-H Day. As a 4-H kid, there was one rule that was strictly enforced. And that was, as a 4-H kid, I was not allowed to step foot on the Midway without an adult until Friday. And here's a big one. I was not allowed to go on any rides until Friday. Most 4-H kids are not allowed to go, and at least here in Midland, we were not allowed, and I don't know if this still stands, we're not allowed to go on the Midway. We could go on the Midway with an adult, but we weren't allowed to go on any rides whatsoever until Friday. And the reason is Friday was 4-H Day, and at this point, most of the animal showings are done, the auctions are done, everything's been judged. So what it is 4-H Day was Fun Day. 4-H Day is Goat Obstacle Course Day, which is actually pretty funny. I'm sad I missed it. My brother did it one year. It was awesome. 4-H Day was the day that the 4-H kids, we got our unlimited ride wristbands, which were special wristbands we could only get for being a member of 4-H, and we were let loose on the Midway. So you would literally have like dozens and dozens and dozens of kids who had not really been allowed to go on the Midway, not go on any of the rides for 5 days. 6th day comes, Midway opened, vroom! Like literally, that was it. That was our day. There was actually a couple years where there's actually a massive dance in the show ring between the big animal barns, and so that was only open to 4-H kids. So it was like, it was awesome. It was literally like I would start, the fair for me did not start Sunday. The fair for me started like the Wednesday before, when we would have to go and set up our display in the Gerstacker building, which is where all the food and collections and all those types of things are. And then we'd have to go set up the barn. And then Saturday morning, we would have to get up. If we had anything that was non-animal, we'd have to go and enter that at the Gerstacker building, which means we would get up, drive to the fairgrounds, park, go to the Gerstacker building, and wait in line. Some of these lines were like 2 hours long. Wait in these lines, hand in our item, get it judged, Go get in another line. Wait there. Get it judged. And do this. And then the next morning, Sunday morning, get up and have to do it all over again. And then Sunday noon, after bringing all our stuff to be judged, going and bringing in the animals. That was when usually our animals had to be there Saturday, Sunday nights. So we usually had to have all the animals in. And then the rest of the fair, Sunday through Saturday, be there 2 to 3 times a day, up to 4 to 5 hours almost at a time. Why? We had to feed the animals, water the animals, clean their pens, clean the animals, and not just clean the pens, we had to take turns sweeping the floor in front of our club's pens. We would go out to the campers, and we would actually, and I talked about this earlier, work at the 4-H cafeteria. And most years I only did 1 day, but when I did sheep, I did 2. So, depending on how often you showed animals, you had to go put in so many hours at the cafeteria. So, it was literally, I look at 4-H and I refer to it as my first job, but what a fun job. It was so worth it. You know, if you have kids, I highly recommend getting them involved in 4-H. You can make so many friends, meet so many people. When I started 4-H, I was really blessed because my 4-H club originally, Goat Busters, was all my family. It was all my dad's side of the family. So I started out showing with my family, and then we got more people in and became Circle of Hope. Got more people, became Circle of Friends. So it was so much fun. I loved it so much. So it's sad to see it. So I really, really hope 4-H does not go away in Midland because it meant so much to me, and I want to see it continue for many years. So I'm going to get going, you guys. On tap tomorrow, I might run to the mall for a little bit because I want to get some things. So stay safe, stay sane. I'm sending you all lots of love, hugs, and prayers, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.